to Reflections and Conversations with Sandra, and timely word, self-reflection. Daily thinking is a study that I have started probably a decade ago, but very much more so since COVID started. Every morning, I take some thinking time and I study a couple pages of some book that I'm working my way through. Neville Goddard is a big, thick book like this, and I have taken months to go through it. I did detour into another book or two in between, but with that book, it is so incredible and so deep that I read one little chapter, and his little chapters might be 2.5 pages. After I read through, if I can get that far, I kind of land on a paragraph. Sometimes that's all I get through is the paragraph, or narrow that down to one line. Yesterday, Neville Goddard's line was, and I'm going to read it, "Your belief in masters is a confession of your slavery. Only slaves have masters. Change your conception of yourself and you will, without the aid of masters or anyone else, automatically transform your work to conform to your changed conception of yourself." Well, when I came across that, I had just spent a lot of time, really. I have spent a lot of time chasing down through Bob Proctor material, Mary Morrissey, Think and Grow Rich, the Napoleon Hill, the Neville Goddard. I've immersed myself in it, and it's a beautiful thing. And then I'd get into Tony Robbins. Sage Levine is another one, and Sarah Gray. I was embedding myself into all of these workshops, and some of them would take 3 days on the internet, online. And it was all rah, 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 rah. I needed to do that. But then I got to thinking, oh my goodness, they can do that and I can't. Oh, look what why can't I do that? Oh, look at that. They speak until finally I filled up. And I think that's important. But the really big gift here is that I filled up and recognized that, okay, this is exhausting. I'm really spending time trying to prove that I'm as good as they are. I'm enough. I'm not little small. It's chasing. I spent decades chasing qualifications. Well, yes, some of them you need. If I'm going to sell life insurance, I have to get my license. If I'm going to maintain my license, I have to have education credits. And if I want to stay sharp and on my game, I need those. So that's not chasing. But I was $1 Million Roundtable 5 years in my first 9 years in the business 40 years ago. You can bet I was chasing. I was chasing those people that were just ahead of me, and then chasing some certificate, and then chasing. It was exhausting, absolutely exhausting. I have quit chasing, and that's been a huge benefit to me. But I couldn't have done it if I hadn't parked it and accepted it's not more paper that I need. What I need is to love myself, to claim and know myself. It would have started probably about 10 years ago when I started putting the crown on my head, from Queen of Straight Talk. And then it became the Compassionate Queen of Straight Talk. Then it became Coach Sandra, Compassionate Queen of Straight Talk. And more recently, I've added to that Corporate Trainer. Period. I am a wonderful trainer. And that claiming it for myself, that declaring it, is what I hope that you're recognizing through your own self-reflection and your daily thinking, and getting yourself straight, getting your thinking straight, that you start to declare and claim your own personal power. You see, I belong to some different Toastmaster clubs, and then sometimes somebody gets a little bit big. I'm the only one. You do it. We want it self-directed, but we do want you to do it my way. And I have a little challenge if I'm to be self-directed, but only follow the rules. Yeah, you know. I'm a little long in the tooth for jumping how high. And then I started to understand your belief in masters. If I believe that somebody else is a master, they might know a lot and I can learn from them. Absolutely. But I can't put them up on a pedestal and say, oh my gosh, they are just absolutely perfect. They know so much. There's Tony Robbins. And Tony Robbins will be the very first one with us to say, I'm not special. I'm no different than you. You are in charge of your life. But setting all that aside, we still look at Tony Robbins and say, guru, master, I can only do as you say. See, that becomes a belief in masters, and that becomes a confession of slavery. Only slaves have masters. As I peeled myself away from thinking I couldn't catch up to them, I was listening to Brandon Burchard the other day. He was doing a 3-hour talk. So I had it rolling while I was doing some work here. And I looked at him and I realized, oh, he's not doing anything I don't do. And I think mine's more interesting. Certainly my style is more interesting. He was up there talking. I didn't see him interact with the audience at all. Zippo is zero. And I thought, Sandra, shake your head. That was the moment I turned around and said, I'm a trainer. I am a trainer. I am a corporate trainer. They need me to help them get clear. So after all these years of chasing qualifications and certificates and trying to keep up with expectations, I finally learned it's my own expectations, my own fear that was pushing me and driving me. And I have paid a price for the life I have today. You have too. Whatever your life is, whether it's successful or if it's flat or if it's in pain, you are paying the price. I am paying the price for the being who I am. I am not going back. I am going forward. Are you willing to go back? Or are you excited now to move forward and claim you? It's Coach Sandra, Compassionate Queen of Straight Talk. I am here. I can help. You can do it. And you know it. This is the place. All the best.